Hi there,
Hello, everyone.
my name is Wojtek.
I'm Vitaly.
How many compressors do you have?
Let's see. Like 20?
Do you use all of them?
I might have tried all of them, but I don't really know what the difference between them is.
I noticed that a lot of my students have the same problem. So they have a lot of compressors, but they don't know how to use them properly. So I have challenge for you. The clients comes to you and say, I want to have like modern, punchy drum sound. I will give you like one raw library from the Hertz drums and one free compressor, just to be sure that you won't use anything else. Okay? Can you do this?
I've never seen this compressor before. I don't even know where to start.
It really doesn't matter, it's just the tool. Attack, release, it's always the same. I would start with the snare first.
Please listen to these examples on studio headphones or monitors to hear all the details clearly. Also, head over to our Patreon page to download the multi-channel audio drum tracks from this video or the projects for Cubase and Reaper we've prepared for you with all of the settings dialed in, so you can follow along at your own pace and get a better understanding of the things we're about to discuss here.
If you're not sure how to start, ratio around 4:1, listen the snare, leave release at noon, and just make extreme settings of the attack, and then you will hear the difference.
So like the fastest and the slowest, right?
Yes.
Let's try that.
So I'll quickly alternate between the fastest and the slowest attack setting, while keeping the gain reduction at around 6 dB with the threshold knob, to be able to hear the effect clearly. At the slowest attack, I'm mostly hearing a really loud shot at the beginning of the hit that is a lot louder than the tail. At the fastest attack, there's no sharp loudness spike at the start. It seems like the beginning and the tail of the hit are equally loud. This compressor is particularly good for learning because it has this delta button. When it's active, you're hearing what the compressor actually removes from the signal it receives. At the fastest attack, the compressor quickly squashes the initial punch and allows the tail to bloom. At the slowest attack, it doesn't even catch the loudness spike at the start of the hit, resulting in what we call a punchier sound.
And now you can do similar with the release. Try to change extremely, release.
Now we'll keep the attack pretty fast and alternate between the extreme release settings while keeping the gain reduction at the same level with the threshold knob. At the fastest release, the tail of the hit quickly explodes after the initial spike is squashed, while at the slowest release, the tail sounds very smooth. Let's also hear what the compressor is taking away from the signal on these extreme release settings. At the fastest release, it stops working almost immediately, resulting in the explosive sound, while at the slowest release it catches more tail, and lets go very smoothly.
You can hear how it works, yeah?
Well, yeah, on the extreme settings, it's like pretty obvious. I'm hearing the compression, but where do we go from here? Like, what does it even mean? Modern, punchy, whatever you call it. Like, what does it mean in terms of compression?
Basically, modern and punchy, it's the correlation between the attack and release. So mostly in modern drums, longer attack, that means that you can hear more punch from your sound, whatever it is, snare or kick, yes?
Okay.
Fast release, you don't hear a really long tail after it. With the release, you need to imagine explosion, short explosion, like shotgun, yes?
That makes sense. All right, I think we got the snare sound. Now I think I can try to adjust the kick parameters.
So basically the same, yes? Slower attack, and faster release.
I'm hearing the effect, but it makes the low end from the kick sound kind of weird.
That's why we have, sidechain high pass filter.
This one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I need to turn it like all the way up to like 250, right?
Yes. And then in that case, you allow to low frequencies pass through the compressor untouchable. Now I think we need to go to the rooms. Rooms love compression. Higher ratio, a lot of gain reduction. They love to be squashed, yeah? With modern drums, we have really nice punchy sound from the direct signals, kick snare. So we need just the glue. Nice ambient for it. So rather fast attack and fast release.
All right, let's squash him.
Now, when I play the whole drum mix, notice how the room sound fills the spaces between the hits when I enable the compression on the room channel, making the drum part sound more cohesive. This is what many people refer to as the glue.
All right, it sounds really punchy, like in your face, and I think my client would be happy.
You see, it's pretty easy. If you really remember modern, that's mean slow attack and fast release, will be way more faster with every single compressor. Now the second challenge, can you make completely opposite drum sound with the same compressor and the same raw pack? I want to have really vintage drums. What does it mean, vintage drums, for you?
I'm too young to know that, but as far as I can tell, should be less punch, right?
Vintage drums for me, should be like fast attack. It will eliminate the punch from the drums.
Okay.
And we need to focus a bit more on the tail, because mostly those drums are longer with nice sounding tail. In vintage drums, the rooms are really important. So I suggest to start from the rooms. Like in the modern drums, we can squash them really hard and try to make fast attack. Again, we don't want to have punch from the rooms, but make longer release. That will give nice tail for the overall drums.
It will like eliminate the shotgun effect, right? That we were talking about.
Now we have nice sounding rooms. Do the same with snare and kick. So less attack, we again don't want to have that punch, and longer release. Nice sounding tail of the snare.
Now, in the full drum mix, pay attention to how the snare sound kinda moves to the back of the scene when I enable this fast attack compression on the snare channel. Let's try to achieve a similar effect on the kick, to make the snare and the kick sit in the same plane, so to speak.
For my taste, even from the kicks, we should remove more attack. So I can show you one nice tip in the Hertz drums. You can go to ADSR section and just slightly cut some attack from the kick. Yeah, you hear the difference?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's no click in it. Like it's supposed to be in the vintage drums.
In the past, they use different beaters. Right now, we use the plastic beaters, different skins, yeah, different even kick pedals, yes? Everything is more with the attack, yeah? So in that case, you can remove it really precise and slightly.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Now we've got two completely different sounding drum sets. Should we compare them?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
listen.
let's hear that. It's like a completely different character. Really surprised that you can do that with like sample drums and the compressor, like a free compressor.
Now, Vitaly, you can save your money. You can go for a dinner with your girlfriend or buy something different instead of compressors.
I've already spent all this money. Now I need to get more clients to get more money back.
Those terms are really typical. Actually, on every session, people come to us and they ask if we're talking about the modern metal rock drums. They ask, we want to have them punchy. It's always about the punch of the drums. So you need to remember, slow attack, fast release. When it comes to the vintage, more roomy, less punchy, more in the back with nice tail, it's opposite. Fast attack and longer release. It's all about this. So if you know how to do this with the free stuff, you can do it with every single compressor.
All right, this is it for today. If you find this video useful, because I certainly did, leave a comment. If you have any other questions about compression, leave a comment as well. We'll try to answer them all, or maybe even shoot more videos about it. And of course, if you like our content and you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also head over to our Patreon page, or become a member here on YouTube to get more tips, more videos, more exclusive downloads, and a whole lot of other perks. See you around.